If for some reason you're not aware, there's this small pink gumball that actually can destroy the world whenever he wants. This small plushie has countless of games, and they all star him. Matter of fact, he even has a TV show named after him. But for some reason, people don't understand how much of a threat he actually is. He? Oh, okay, well, that's a him. Kirby is one of the most cutest and roundest boys of them all. However, he's also the most dangerous. Now, I'm about to explain to you why Kirby's legacy is never ending. And after this, maybe you'll consider him a god compared to other IPs. Now then, let's go ahead and get started. Now, to give some background, the pink puffball came out in 1993. This was 10 years before Nintendo's Italian Plumber. Now, unfortunately, Kirby's logo isn't at the bottom of every single Nintendo Direct. But don't let that mistake you. He has plenty of games and merchandise. I mean, look at some of the scrumptious pastries he has. Here are some fluffy pink cakes. You even have cookies over here too. But the good thing is, at least Kirby seems edible. Imagine what it would look like seeing a Mario cake instead. I'm sorry, but if you're taking a bite of that, you have some cojones. But besides the delectables, Kirby has plenty of games as well. These bad boys date back more than 20 plus years. Matter of fact, it goes so far back, Kirby used to not even have color. Now, the interesting thing about Kirby is, he doesn't have to rely on a gimmick to sell a game. As you may be aware, whatever he eats, he becomes. For example, if Kirby was to eat this little fire monster here, then he would become Fire Kirby. And as you can guess, he has plenty of different types of elements. Spark, tornado, water, you name it, it's probably here. Besides these natural disasters that he can become, he can also flex on us as a human race. Kirby has his copy ability called High Jump Kirby, and as the name suggests, he just kind of jumps pretty high. So of course, if he wants to be a bomb, he can. However, if he doesn't feel like it, he can go compete in the next Olympics. And that's what fear is. Now, just because he eats something doesn't mean he'll turn into it. For example, if he decides he just wants to chill out and eat a bowl of rice, then he can. Kirby seems to be able to decide what he turns into, and it seems this is present in the games as well. But the moral of the story here is that Kirby is the bottomless pit. With that inhale ability he has, he can become practically anything he wants. In Kirby in the Forgotten Land, he can do more than just eat a little flame. They gave Kirby the ability to eat an object, and he becomes that object. Kirby can legitimately eat a car and becomes Car Kirby. And if you catch my drift, eating a car isn't an easy thing to do. So if Kirby can literally eat a car and transform into it if he wants to, how are you going to stop him? Within this game, anything that you can find on a New York street, he's able to eat and become. I'm talking about a car. I'm talking about a vending machine. I'm talking about a traffic cone. With this new ability that they've shown in 2022, this means that he can become basically anything he wants. But then Nintendo decided to take it a step further. Remember that little flame I was talking about before? Well, guess what? That flame can become a volcano. Kirby can now evolve his copy abilities. That flame can become a volcano. And guess what? That volcano can become something even more horrendous. So here we go, introducing the new ruler of the world, Dragon Fire Kirby. You can see him incinerating and burning through everything. But it's crazy because this is not the only evolved copy ability in the game. So since Kirby has the ability to do this, you can see the possibilities are endless. Now mind you, Mouthful Mode and Evolution were introduced in the same game. Now if I took a look at some of the other games that he can do stuff, it's even more outrageous. For example, Kirby Mass Attack. In this game, there is no Mouthful Mode and copy abilities. That's not here. Instead, you have one power and one power alone. And that's the game. It's simple. Kirby has a problem or gets in a little scuffle. Guess what? All he has to do is call the homies. And I mean, Kirby Mass Attack, this game's different. You can literally see if Kirby ever has somebody pull up on him, he's ready to jump you. And I mean, this looks brutal. You can see him jumping on an enemy and beating them that they disappear. I mean, I don't really care that Kirby's 2 feet tall. Imagine about 15 of them running at you with torches. But now that we all understand that this game is for the hood, Kirby also has some soft ones underneath his legacy belt as well. Here's another banger that you probably forgot about, Kirby Rainbow Curse. It's another one that you don't really have to do anything. He doesn't have copy abilities or anything like that. All you have to do is use your pen and draw lines on the screen. That way Kirby can roll around on the lines. Now of course this is not Kirby inhaling the earth or jumping you with the gang. However, this is talking about his legacy, and sometimes he doesn't have to jump you to actually make a good game. But just because he has a game that he can curl up in a ball and roll around doesn't mean he's not with it. Because if Kirby feels like it, he'll just beat you up outright. He has his own fighting game. Matter of fact, he got 2 of them. In Kirby Fighters, he decides to use all his copy abilities and get in the ring. And apparently Smash Brothers wasn't enough for him. Although Steve's and Kazuya's run around didn't mean nothing to him, Kirby decided to make multiple colors of himself just so he can fight the strongest in the universe. But I'll digress on all the games. I haven't even touched the surface with all the different things he does. Now you heard me right, besides the copy abilities and the martial art experience he has, he's actually a superstar. And no, I'm just not talking about the warp star he rides. Remember before when I said he has an anime? He was beloved in it. They had these two characters named Tiff and Tuff. Soon as Kirby fell from the sky, they found a new friend. But when I say friend, that's friend to them, not to Kirby. Realistically, he might as well have been God. You gotta realize that most of the characters in this show did not have powers. Therefore, to us, Kirby was the savior. It's just like the typical hero saves the day show. DDD pulls up thinking he can do something to Kirby or shows an enemy that is supposed to be stronger than him. Kirby puts said enemy down and flexes on them like it's nothing. Now this is just the normal process. You have characters like Meta Knight that wish they were a Kirby. Matter of fact, he was so pissed because he couldn't beat Kirby, he decided to join him. So these enemies really don't mean anything to Kirby. Matter of fact, I ain't never seen him bruised before in my life. There was even a character named Chef Kawasaki, and instead, he knows he can't fight Kirby. Boil him up, at which Kirby does not feel high temperatures whatsoever. Season him up, which was nothing but a massage to the goat. Realistically, what are you supposed to do to stop him? His series really showed you how much of a threat he is. But listen, there's plenty of other things I can say besides his copy abilities, mouthful mode, his stardom. Kirby is infinite, and maybe if you're not convinced, I can pull out the handy dandy notebook and show you some more, but that would be a part 2, so if you want to see more, show this video some love. But hey, I think you know deep down that Kirby's legacy is ridiculous. With all this in his arsenal, you might as well call him invincible. But we'll go ahead and stop here for today. So this concludes this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're a fan of these videos and want to get them out quicker, consider checking out the Patreon. I appreciate all the support and couldn't do without you guys, so thank you very much. And finally, I'll say it one more time. Don't forget this either. Kirby, he's the one. He's that guy. Y'all have a good one. Peace.